Kia ora. Well, it's already been a very wet few hours out towards those northeastern parts of the country. Heavy rain still pushing through towards parts of Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti, and it's still pretty windy through there as well. But you can see down the South Island, plenty of clear sky. The cloud breaking up quite nicely through Canterbury and some better, brighter weather through there. But this rainfall, being driven on by these onshore winds, remains in place as we go through the rest of today for Tuesday afternoon and even through in towards the night time. You can see there's very little change in the weather setup. A ridge of higher pressure down towards the south keeps things mostly dry and settled through there. Plenty of clear sky across the western side of the North Island. But we have more cloud running up in towards the hills and the ranges of Wairoa to Hawke's Bay, up in towards Tairāwhiti, and with that rainfall as well, particularly for places like the Wairoa District and up in towards Tairāwhiti around Gisborne. That rainfall sticking with us through the daytime today and also through into Wednesday. Now, it's all being driven in by low pressure sinking southwards, bringing those winds in off the sea, so some cooler air through there as well. Fairly cloudy conditions right the way down towards Wellington. And we'll keep hold of that wet weather. The heaviest rainfall up about the ranges to the north of Wairoa and up in towards Tairāwhiti. You can see it runs up in towards the hills. Might find a few showers skirt over the top. But generally what we'll find is on the western side of these eastern hills, things are dry. Watching out for them stronger winds though, especially around the coastal parts of Tairāwhiti, around Marlborough as well, down through there, and down through this eastern part of the Bay of Plenty. But down on the South Island, plenty of clear sky. You can see we've got this next front waiting to come towards us. But for most of the day on Wednesday on the South Island, plenty of fine, dry, sunny and pretty hot days, particularly through central Otago. Up north though, where we keep hold of this wet weather, we have got some severe weather watches. We've already seen about 90 millimetres of rainfall in parts of the Wairoa District. And we've got more rain still to come as we head through the rest of today and also through in towards Wednesday. So you can see this rainfall watch here that runs right the way from those northern parts of Hawke's Bay up in towards Tairāwhiti, stays in place through the daytime today, through the night and also through most of the day on Wednesday. On the other side of the hills, we'll find those winds strengthening as they run down the ranges. So we could find some gusts of wind there reaching perhaps severe gale force as well. So well worth keeping up to date with the information across this northeastern corner of the country. But for many of us, it is looking like a much more settled story. It will be a chilly start, though, down in the south. Some nice clear skies overnight tonight. We've got that cold air with us. So places like Timaru, Marlborough, looking at temperatures around about that 4 or 5 degrees Celsius to start the day. And I think even places like Queenstown, a chilly start. And I think we're going to find our temperatures up and down by about 20 degrees over the next few days. So let's take a look at the North Island as we go through Wednesday. Well, now obviously we're looking at this wet weather. You can see these darker blues up about the ranges of Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti. That rain continues to feed through. That cloud pushing in off of the sea as well. So around this eastern coast, it's a cloudier, wetter, windier story. On the other side of the hills, plenty of clear sky, areas of cloud bubbling up through the daytime, and places like the Coromandel up in towards Auckland and perhaps in towards Northland as well. We may find 1 or 2 brief showers. We might find a few just about those western parts of Waikato, but for many spots, places like Hamilton, New Plymouth, Palmerston North, looking pretty good, but we keep more cloud around these eastern areas, and you can see that rain persisting through Hawke's Bay and up in towards Tairāwhiti. So really worth keeping a close eye on those severe weather watches through there. In terms of our temperatures, with more cloud and that wind coming in off the cooler sea, temperatures in the east are a fair bit suppressed to what we've been used to over the last few weeks or so. 18, 19 degrees Celsius are top temperatures in places like Napier and Hastings. The other side of the hills, where you get the best of the sunshine, back up to 24 degrees Celsius in Hamilton. Not a bad looking story for you. Heading down towards the South Island, again for most of the island, it's pretty much a decent dry day. There will be areas of cloud to watch out for, perhaps through Canterbury first thing around that Kaikoura coast, and might be a few pockets of early morning mist and fog through some of the valleys of central Otago. But that high pressure keeps things fairly slow moving in terms of this next feature, which butts up against Fiordland but doesn't make much headway across us, so we generally find it stays dry. One thing we'll notice though, with some good clear skies around, some of the warmest spots will be in these central Otago parts of the country. So for places like Alexandra, perhaps up to around about 28, even perhaps nudging up towards 30 degrees Celsius in the best of that sunshine. A very warm day indeed. Some of the higher temperatures of the country, you can see those oranges and reds starting to show through there. Not too bad further north, 20 degrees Celsius in Westport as well. Looking ahead towards the end of the week, we'll keep hold of that low pressure up towards the north. It's quite slow moving, and it keeps that easterly feed of air on towards the eastern coast of both islands. And we'll start to find that rainfall spreading southwards through Marlborough and in towards Canterbury as we head through the daytime, slowly starting to ease across those northern parts of the country as we head through Thursday. There'll be more cloud that throws across towards the east, and I think we will find a few showers starting to spring up there. And we'll keep an eye on that next area of low pressure over the Tasman Sea as these two features dumbbell around each other. But for Thursday and perhaps for Friday as well, we're looking now down towards the Southland with some of that rainfall feeding through and towards parts of Canterbury and Otago. That's it from me, but as ever, you can find updates on those watches, warnings, and of course all the latest information on the forecast over at MetService.com.